Our top story this half hour, the fate of accused killer Jodi Arias, who is now in the hands of the jury. Her trial has been going on for 4 months in Phoenix, with tales of sex, lies, and murder that made it a courtroom sensation for tabloid readers and TV viewers.
You're the one that did this, right?
Yes.
Over the past 5 years, the Jodi Arias murder case has provided so much drama, there's already a made-for-TV movie in production, and the verdict isn't even in yet. The real story began on June 4th, 2008, when Arias' boyfriend Travis Alexander was found dead in his home, shot in the head, stabbed 27 times, his throat slit. Then the lies began. First, Arias denied she was there, but investigators found nude pictures that put her at the crime scene. Next, Arias told 48 Hours that Alexander was the victim of a home invasion.
I heard a really loud pop, and the next thing I remember, I was lying next to the bathtub, and Travis was screaming.
Now, Arias is claiming she did kill Alexander, but in self-defense.
Travis left Jodi no other option but to defend herself.
On Thursday, prosecutors did not hold back in their closing arguments.
And even after stabbing him over again, and even after slashing his throat from ear to ear, and then even after taking a gun and shooting him in the face, she will not let him rest in peace.
On Friday, Arias' lawyer summed it up this way.
Fear, love, sex, lies, and dirty little secrets.
Joining us with more on the case is Jean Casarez, a correspondent for In Session on True TV, who was in the courtroom for those closing arguments yesterday. She joins us now from Phoenix. Jean, good morning.
Good morning, Anthony.
Jean, what is the defense hoping they accomplished here? I mean, they had their client obviously changed her story a bunch of times. The jury's got to be confused.
Well, in this particular trial, it has been self-defense the whole way. But here's what they have to do, Anthony. This is a death penalty trial. It is the most serious type of trial that we have. And the defense, although they have no burden at all, they have to knock out the premeditation, because there is strong evidence toward premeditation, beginning with a gun. This was a gun, .25 caliber gun, happened to be owned by her grandfather. The home she lived in happened to go missing. It was a burglary, and Travis Alexander was shot with a .25 caliber gun. So what the defense is doing is saying that Jodi is very smart, and she is. She's really smart. She wouldn't do something so stupid as to take her grandfather's gun to be able to have that gun traced so easily.
Gene, I thought it was really unusual. The defense attorney in his closing argument said, it's not about whether or not you like Jodi Arias. 9 days out of 10, I don't like Jodi Arias, but that doesn't matter. What kind of strategy is that?
Well, it can be a common strategy, but I'll tell you, I was sitting in the courtroom and it's like, wow, 9 days out of 10. Jury didn't flinch, though. They were just watching. But what he's trying to tell the jury is you've got to look at the evidence. Maybe you don't like Jodi. You don't like what she did. I mean, look what she did. But you've got to view this from the evidence to determine if she's guilty of first-degree murder.
What options does the jury have, Jean?
Anthony, they're so stoic. I mean, since January, I have watched this jury, and they are focused. They are intense. Do you know they had 220 jury questions for Jodi Arias when she was on the stand? Here in Arizona, the jurors can write down questions, 220, and they're sophisticated questions. They know what they're doing, this jury.
And so they can find her guilty of first-degree murder, second-degree murder. What are their other options?
And manslaughter, heat of passion manslaughter. This was a huge win for the defense because they had fair comment on the evidence in their closing argument to say this was a heat of passion situation. Even if she believed her life was in danger, she went overboard. She snapped. And you can look at that crime scene, the chaotic nature of that crime scene, and that tells you, ladies and gentlemen, this is heat of passion manslaughter.
So what are the sentencing options then, Jean, on those possible convictions?
Well, if they convict her of first-degree murder, then we go straight into a penalty phase. The jury has to find the aggravating factor of cruelty, that this was done with such cruelty toward Travis Alexander? If so, the jury must determine unanimously life or death. If it's second-degree murder, the judge will sentence in about 4 to 6 weeks. Manslaughter, the judge will sentence in 4 to 6 weeks.
And we just have a few seconds left, but what's your take? Do you think this is going to be a long deliberation?
Oh, that's a good question. This jury knows this case very well, but you never know. There are 4 months worth of evidence, over 600 exhibits in this case. It could be midweek, it could be 15 minutes. I don't know.
All right, Jean Casarez. Thank you, Jean.
Thank you.